Welcome to Local Living Tri-City, your go-to podcast for exploring the vibrant communities of Temecula, Murrieta, and Menifee. Join me, Liz Jones, as we dive into real estate insights and local business stories, bringing you closer to the heart of our Tri-City area. Let's get started with today's episode.
Hey everyone, I am Liz Jones with Local Living, and today I have Brendan Lewis, and he is been with our team for an amazing long time. He has really have some great insight of what buyers out there are seeing, and today we're going to cover a few of those bases. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive right in. The 5 big topics that are keeping buyers at bay. One of them is, how are home prices right now? Are they going up or down? What's happening with interest rates? Everybody's asking the same thing. Is inventory still low or is it increasing? How is affordability right now for everyone, especially first-time home buyers? And lastly, we'll cover what is the market outlook for the rest of this year with the local market, Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, and surrounding areas. So let's go ahead and take a chunk on those. So Brendan, you've been on the phone with a lot of buyers lately.
I have.
And I know the rest of our team is hearing this constantly. I think I'll sit on the sidelines and wait, watch and wait. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
What are you seeing? What is the conversation sounding like?
Yeah, so the whole sit on the sideline and wait, I think we've been in a state of that for quite a while now. People have been sitting on the sidelines, and a lot of people were expecting this slide down. And we haven't quite seen that. We've actually seen home prices increase slowly. And right now they're pretty steady, I'd say. And so the conversations look a lot like that. A lot of people are wondering if the market's going to crash or anything like that. But it's hard to find the indicators that anything like that's coming. I mean, especially with home values still going up, interest rates not really budging. The conversations are really just one of keeping on.
Yeah. So to add to that conversation, because I have plenty of my clients that will feel personally like the prices are slipping back. It's erosion of time on market.
Exactly.
So if you are pricing it correctly right out of the gate, and this is usually done by your professionals, going to come in and be really honest with you and say, okay, I know you have a beautiful home and I know you believe it's worth X, but this is where it's going to sell. If you price it there where we know that it's going to sell, because we've done this a long time, it is likely you're going to get your number right at asking price, or right just a couple $1,000s under that,
right,
which will then lead to a neighbor going on the market and setting the price bar. It's when you set the bar here and then you have no one show up for weeks upon weeks, which is extending now. I mean, we have some that are sitting on the market for 3 months, and we're asking for things like $50,000 and $75,000 and even $100,000 price reductions,
right,
because they were not priced correctly going out of the gate. For those instances, it's very disappointing for sellers. But what we are finding, if we look at the numbers over a course of time, we are seeing an increase based on where this one sold, and then a new one comes on and it wants to price right here. So it's a very small increase over time, unless you've been eroding on the market.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously you addressed a little bit of the price correction, and you're right, the indicators do not show it. The job market is still up.
Right.
We're pulling back on inflation. This is not typically an indicator of any kind of housing bubble break.
Right.
So in fact, I know you and I will probably address this later. You and I will talk about what our expectations for next year will be, and we'll set that, and it surrounds a lot of that interest rate conversation and affordability conversation. All right. So addressing the what's happening with interest rates, let's move to that. So I heard yesterday that the feds did not move the dial. They were asked to reduce. It didn't happen. And I heard that there are 2 scheduled small drops before the end of the year.
I've also heard that.
Right. And in that case, that's probably not enough to move the dial, right?
Significantly.
So we figure it'll be January, February, March before that happens. Now, what usually happens in March?
We're going to see things start to fly.
Yeah.
That's
It's a typical buying season.
it is. That's the normal buying season. We're going to see a lot more stuff come up and a lot more buyers start to come out. That's the big one.
Especially if it comes down a point.
Exactly.
Because just to give you some idea of the effect. So right now, let's say that the average is 6.75, right? On a $600,000 loan. So that means you're taking out $600,000 of buying power at 6.75. We're looking at roughly a $3,900 payment. That's principal and interest only. That doesn't include your taxes, your special assessments. That's just principal and interest. If you were able to bring that down by 1.5.75, you're dropping $400 a month to a $3,500 payment. And so 1 point of interest drop is equivalent to about $4,800 a year on a $600,000 loan. So, obviously, that may not make or break the difference. It's not enough to send, the market to crazy, but with a combination of next year, springtime, when people are trying to move before they go away for the summer, when they lock in where they're going, with a pent-up demand, your age bracket and all those people that are having kiddos and life events that are happening, there's a lot of pent-up demand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they're trying to look for an opportunity to jump in the market.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened yet. Okay. Question comes up about refinance. So a lot of times, what are we coaching our clients right now about an opportunity that we're finding right now?
Yeah. So once you lock in your purchase price, it's locked in, right? And so when you wait until, say, next year in March and the interest rates come down a bit, what tends to happen is the interest rates will drop and your prices are going to come up because there's a lot more buyers coming in for that home. And so if you can take the lower price now, wait it out for the year or so, and not everybody has this availability, but if you do, it's a really good way to get that lower purchase price and a lower interest rate if you can hang in there for a year or two.
Yeah, or even just a refinance in February.
Right, exactly.
So a lot of the lenders will put into play where you can refinance free for the first year, or at least the 6 months. So you have to ask your lender if they offer that. And if that is the case, then you're locking in a lower price. And then in February, when things start to move, you just make a choice to lock it in lower. There's also other programs called 2-1 buy downs. Sometimes sellers can help us. That's concessions that we ask them. If there's a house that's been sitting on the market and you want to find the opportunity, you're ready to do a remodel, there's a lot of times we can get closing costs that we can buy down the interest rate, and you can get a temporary buy down for 2 years or 1 year.
It's a brilliant way to handle the interest rates right now.
And then refinance later.
Exactly.
So, because you're locking in the lower price, we're not seeing evidence that we're going to go pull back significantly, right? What we're doing is we're flattening that crazy climb that we had through COVID, and that's just leveling out a little bit. But we really don't see any evidence of a full crash.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. How about inventory? Where's that going right now?
So we're seeing inventory increase. This exact same time last year, in June of last year, we were looking at 350 homes on the market, and now we have about 550 homes.
That's just local.
That is just local. Each city is seeing generally that trend. So yeah, we're seeing a good 40-50% increase in inventory in these areas.
So I would say those homes represent people that must move, not necessarily people that just want to test the market, but they must move. And that's people who have big homes going to be sizing down. That's people who have their starter home and want to size up. Those are people leaving the state. And those are coming back to us in a higher number. And so that's really, really important because you have more opportunity to see that, but not enough buyers to fill the need. We have roughly 3 months of inventory right now in our local area.
Yeah, it's stacking up.
So 3 houses for every 1 buyer is what we're seeing. Okay. How competitive are offers right now? What are you seeing?
We're not seeing nearly as many offers, but it depends on the property, right? So we're seeing a lot of these really beautiful properties, people who have done a great job taking care of it, and we'll still see offers pop up on them, right? If it's priced right and it shows really well, they'll move. They'll move quick.
And an example was the opposite, where I had a very well-priced home. We priced one of our homes at $459, and then we had nonstop people coming through. We had 8 offers, and we ended up at $520. So it happens. It's really about do people see value with the product that you're selling, with the home that you're selling? So that's pretty much where we are. What is the difference between new construction and resale availability? You are getting to see new homes everywhere. Now, Temecula doesn't have a lot of areas to build out anymore. Murrieta has more. We're far east. We still have new builds going on. But we were able to take clients out a couple of weekends ago out into the Paris and the Homeland area. All those outskirts are just building a whole bunch of new ones. So we've got to actually take our clients over to the new builds, and I have real opportunity there.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to wrap this. So can first-time home buyers still get into programs? Absolutely. There's 2-1 buy downs. There's FHA. There's local programs. There's a whole bunch of things that we need to look at. And what is the average payment? We're looking at a $600,000 house. You're looking at about $3,700. So last question here. Are home prices expected to rise?
I think we're really going to see it to start flattening out a little bit. We're seeing it steadily increase in the areas around Temecula. Temecula's come down a tiny bit, but really everything is pretty level right now.
Yeah,
it's probably going to stay that way for a bit.
Until we change interest rates.
Exactly.
That's where it's going to change. And then everything is looking good with the economy, so we don't have to sweat that there. I think overall, this is the time to buy. People have opportunity now. Between now and Christmas, I say go for it. If you can afford it, this is the time to get a bargain.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing buyers look for bargains all the time now. So, and successfully get them.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there, if you have any questions about the local market, give us a call. I'm Liz with Local Living. Until the next time.
Thank you for listening to Local Living Tri-City. Stay tuned for more insights and stories from Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, and surrounding areas. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend that is passionate about the Tri-City area as you are. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you next episode.